You want the truth? He asked, his voice soft but filled with an eerie calm. Fine, I will tell you, but what I'm about to say will haunt you for the rest of your lives. The village of Ubaha had been thrown into chaos after Nduka's chilling confession. The once respected meat seller had been exposed as the source of their misfortunes, and his malevolent laughter echoed in their minds long after he had been dragged away. The elder convened that night, deciding to interrogate Nduka further to uncover the full extent of his evil. Nduka was brought to the village square, tied to a wooden post under the watchful eyes of the villagers. His expression was defiant, a twisted smile playing on his lips. Amako stood among the crowd, his heart heavy with the weight of what he had witnessed. Chief Omobiko, the village leader, stepped forward. His voice was steady but laced with anger. Nduka, you have confessed to cursing this village. You have admitted to bringing death, suffering, and despair to your people. But why? Why would you commit such atrocities against your own king? For the first time, his eyes flickered with something unrecognizable. Pain, perhaps. He let out a long, weary sigh, his head drooping as if the weight of his secrets had finally become too much to bear. You want the truth? He asked, his voice soft but filled with an eerie calm. Fine, I will tell you. But what I'm about to say will haunt you for the rest of your lives. The crowd grew silent, the tension thick in the air. Even the crickets seemed to pause their chirping, as though nature itself was holding its breath. My name is Nduka, he began, his voice trembling slightly. But this is not my name. This is not the name my ancestors called me. My family was once the heart of this village, respected, revered, and blessed by the gods. We were the keepers of this land, the protectors of its bounty. But envy is a poison that runs deep in the veins of humanity. He raised his head, his eyes scanning the crowd. 100 years ago, your ancestors betrayed mine. They called us witches and thieves, accused us of hoarding blessings that rightfully belonged to the village. In their greed, they turned on us. My great-grandparents were slaughtered in their sleep, their blood soaking the soil of this land, the very land you now farm on. Gasps rippled through the crowd. Many turned to the elders, their face pale, seeking confirmation. The elders lowered their gazes in shame, their silence speaking volume. My family didn't just die, Nduka continued, his voice cracking. They were erased. Their names were forbidden, their graves destroyed. But the gods, the spirits that blessed my ancestors, saw everything, and they were angry. Tears streamed down his face as he spoke, his voice filled with both sorrow and fury. The spirit cursed this land, vowing that it would never know peace until this justice was served. That curse runs in my blood, passed down through generations, until it reached me. I didn't choose this life, I was born into it. Nduka's voice grew softer, almost pleading. I was just a boy when the spirit came to me. They showed me visions of the slaughter, of my ancestors' screams. They told me I had to make a choice, continue the cycle of vengeance, or let my family's pain be forgotten forever. I tried to resist, but the curse, it consumes you. It whispers in your ears, it gnaws at your soul. The wound on my leg, do you think I want this? Do you think I enjoy the pain? He looked directly at Amako, his eyes brimming with tears. You think I'm a monster, don't you? But tell me, what would you have done in my place? Would you have watched your family's legacy fade into nothing? Would you have let their cries go unanswered? The villagers watched in stern silence, many of them now weeping. For the first time, they saw Nduka not as a villain, but as a man consumed by a darkness he had never asked for. I don't expect forgiveness, Nduka said, his voice barely above a whisper. I know I deserve death. But if you truly want peace, if you want this curse to end, then let me finish what I started. Take me to the sacred tree, the place my ancestors were slaughtered. Let my blood be the final offering. Only then will the spirits rest. The villagers hesitated, unsure of what to do. But Amako stepped forward, his voice steady. He's telling the truth. I have seen the darkness in him, but I've also seen the pain. If this is the only way to save Ubaha, then we must let him do it. With heavy hearts, the villagers agreed. They untied Nduka and followed him deep into the forest, to a clearing where an ancient tree stood. Its gnarled branches reached towards the sky, and the air around it was thick with an unnatural chill. Nduka knelt before the tree, his hands trembling. Spirits of my ancestors, he called out, his voice echoing through the clearing. I offer myself to you. Let my blood cleanse this land. Before anyone could stop him, Nduka plunged a knife into his chest. His blood soaked the roots of the tree, and the ground trembled beneath their feet. A deafening roar filled the air as the spirits rose, their forms twisting and writhing. But instead of attacking, they began to fade, their anguished cries turning to whispers. The curse that had plagued the village for generations was lifted. The air grew warm, and the once blighted land began to bloom with life. The villagers buried Nduka beneath the sacred tree, marking his grave with a stone that read, "The man who carried the curse." They wept for him, for the pain he had endured, and for the role they had played in his torment. Amako stood before the grave, his heart heavy. You were a victim of hatred and vengeance, he said softly, but your sacrifice has brought peace. Rest now, Nduka. Your story will never be forgotten. The village of Ubaha began to heal. Crops flourished, families thrived, and laughter returned to the market square. And though the shadows of the past lingered in their memories, the future was bright, united not by fear, but by hope and forgiveness. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe to this channel, turn on the notification button for more, and please don't forget to like and comment. Thank you very much.